What's cracking, Josie Garfunkle? Let's learn some shit. Alright, so I've seen a growth in the hobby interest a lot lately, and I feel like some basics need to be retouched and covered across all the files, but briefly and quickly to see if we can click some understandings. I think it'll help a lot of people, might even help some veterans a little bit to look at it this way. This is how I'm looking at it. So tags, entries, types, events, protos, pods, what does all this shit mean? What is everybody talking about? You join these discords, you don't know fuck all. You're like, oh shit, what's going on here? Let's break this shit down. All right. So mainly what most people want to start doing when they're learning this is boost. Okay. I'm doing some air quotes. You can't see the shit, but whatever. Some boost of your economy. All right. Which is your types, entries, and such. Well, you go through the entries. A type entry calls a class name. It's called a class name because in the scripts, it calls it and creates it by class and then this. So your type entry calls your class name. The nominal and the minimum are the values of what the economy is going to play with. Lifetime is how long in seconds that's going to last. Quants are the quantity of what's going to fill it. If it's a canteen, 0% to 100%. I'm going to be quick and brief on this to touch all these files. Keep up. Categories. All these tags right here. What does this shit mean? All right. These are your tags, your usages, your categories. They're born in the limits definition. You put it in here, it now recognizes it across all the files as such. A usage name, a category name. You can name these Ding Dong Hostess Snack Cake for all the game gives a shit. As long as one of these gets properly put into an entry of an item and so forth down the line, it will function. So in here, we have our military, our medic, all that shit. The tier 1s, the tier 4s, all that shit, right? Which is another video we've done. Area flags, you can check that shit out. But the tags are born here. You put them on a types entry. Give the type some value. Where do the type entries go? A proto exists. A proto names an item. Okay? Within that item, you tag it with those tags from your limits that you've put on your types. It goes to coordinates mapped based around a center point of this item. Again, this could be called whatever, as long as this name matches a pos name somewhere. See, we have garbage piles in here and whatnot. As long as a proto name, which is a mapping, matches a pos name, which is a position, that proto sits at that pos, holding whatever is tagged for its matching usages. It's a game of tag and catch. Anything used in your events. All right, moving on over here to the events.xml and the event spawns.xml. As you can imagine, they do go together indeed. So you have an event. This is an event name. They have prefixes, item, static, vehicle. Those are the ones you would have to use. And you have outputs, minimum, maximums, radiuses. What is all this shit? All right, let's touch it real quick. So an event name matches an event spawn name and goes to those locations. These are positions on the map for event where this named event can exist. These are for the zombie output and the radius they can walk within for it. And these are the children that it will output. This is the secondary for the radius and such. Position would be fixed within the event spawns. Child limit telling it, hey, these childs are exactly what we're looking to put in this event. Safe radius, how far away can it be from a player? Distance, how far can it be from another event? Cleanup, how far away do you have to leave from triggering it for it to deactivate? In this scenario, the child being the limit, the output is controlled between the minimum and maximum of each child, as well as the nominal overall. No minimum or maximum needed. So let's take a look at a vehicle event. With the vehicle prefix on it, again, a name of an event matches an event spawn's name, so the event goes to said positions. A equals is the direction that it will face, so the hood of a car, right? It's going to face 360 north, 0 north, 180 would be south. A little bit of math makes a circle. So the events in this scenario, the limit is mixed. So it has a mixture of these children across a minimum and a maximum to be within the nominal. Instead of it being specifically all of these at these exact positions, because that's going to pile up based on these nominals, right? You're mixing it up and telling it overall only have 11 to 15 events total, but goal is around 13. And you can have no more than 1 to 3 of each of these children within it for the mixture. Again, as before, lifetime exists for that many seconds and then moves on. It drops whatever, and this now listens to a types entry's parameters. Safe radius. Again, distance a player can be for it to be existent, how far it can be from another event, how far away you got to be for it to clean itself up. And again, if a vehicle is ruined, removed, damaged, the event will take it away, pop another one the next time it rotates a life. Let's look at an infected event real quick. An infected event talks with an environment file known as a territory. I covered this in a different, more in-depth video about that, so you can check that out. But if you wanted to simply boost them, you could boost your minimums and your nominals. Don't really need to mess with the maximum for this scenario. And you could boost the minimum output of some zombies. You could mix and match different infected children with other events if you wanted to spread them throughout. Say I wanted to put some of these in here, no problem. Mix and match them, boost them to whatever you would like to do. Let's touch on the random presets real quick. Random presets is the middleman between your types and your spawnable types. And your spawnable types is what tells a type to have other types attached or within it. So a random preset makes a cargo or attachment loot pool with a name, and then it tells it to have different types or classes within them. Gives a chance of each one within the hit chance. So if that chance hits, has a chance of getting any of these children. Here's some cargo presets and then attachments to have hats or backpacks on your zombies, using the presets as the middleman between the types and the spawnable types in this scenario. And then lastly, we have the globals. There's other files to be touched, but this is just going to be the basics to get you going. A lot of people want to boost their zombies. Overall, at the bottom, you have a counter. You can raise them or lower them. I have this lowered down to 850 for this scenario of a build. I believe vanilla is 1200 or 1000, not sure. But that would be the overall max AI for that allowed. You have animal count, how quick a dead body cleans up. If you want to keep your server running 24/7, make both your idles 0, so your economy is rotating with no one on it. This can control how many pieces of loot spawn initially on the server. You can turn off wet world temp. There's a bunch of things here. There's more in-depth videos of it, but just to give you a brief idea of how powerful the globals is within itself. So yeah, that's the basic rundown of the XMLs, how they relate to each other, how you can boost different things within your server. Again, this is just real brief, real basic. I'm sure there's other things other people would have touched on, gone in depth over. I have other tutorials that go in depth of multiple aspects of all these things, but for a beginner's basic, I hope this helps break some things down. Hope you learned some shit. That's gonna be all for this one. I'm out.